Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is quarterfinals time. That's right, Pandora-Gilboa versus St. John's Jesuit. It's going to be a hurricane of the hippocampus. Who's going to leave victorious? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game, Pandora-Gilboa versus St. John's Jesuit. Let's meet our starting lineups. For Pandora-Gilboa, coached by Coach Recker. In slot number 1, we have Aiden, a senior. In slot number 2, we have Chase, a senior. And in slot number 3, we have Holiday, the freshman. Now for St. John's Jesuit starting lineup, coached by Coach Tittle. In slot number 1, we have Eddie, a senior. In slot number 2, we have Joe, a senior. And in slot number 3, we have Josh, a sophomore. All right, are you guys ready to play BGSU Brain Game? Yes, all right, we're going to start things off as we always do in the toss-up round. In this round, all questions are worth 10 points. No deduction for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but not after. You can also steal a question in this round. All right, toss-up round starts right now. In which American city could one see the following geographical features? Paul Revere's house. That would be St. John's. Josh?
Boston.
Boston is correct. Next question. What adjective describes integers such as 2, 3, and 4? That would be St. John's. Josh?
Consecutive.
Correct. What does the anatomical suffix "side" mean, as in fungicide? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday?
It kills it.
It does, or destroys. Which 8-letter noun in the English language designates coins, paper, or gold used as money? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday?
Currency.
Currency is correct. Multiple choice question. When the masses of Irish immigrants made their way to America following the Great Irish Famine and the Highland clearances, what unique name was given to the ships upon which they sailed? Was it A, death ships, B, funeral ships, or C, coffin ships? That would be St. John's. Josh?
C, coffin ships.
Coffin ships is correct. Multiple choice again. This artist's effort to portray the subconscious, this surrealist Spanish artist created the masterpieces The Burning Giraffe. That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday?
Salvador Dali.
Correct. Didn't even need the multiple choice. Again, another multiple choice. In the legend and lore, which manipulative legendary sorceress was the half-sister? That would be St. John's. Josh?
Morgana.
We will accept that. Also not needing the multiple choice there. With regard to the United States government, what is the meaning of the acronym FTC? As related, that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday?
Federal Trade Commission.
Correct. Because of some 15,000 earthquakes annually, these islands are referred to as the Shaky Isles. Identify this island group that lies southeast of Australia. That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday?
New Zealand.
New Zealand is correct. What type of interesting triangular device did Sir Isaac Newton use to separate? That would be St. John's. Josh?
Prism.
Prism is correct. Recombine white light into its component parts. That is all 10 questions in this round. Well, I told you we'd have a hurricane of the hippocampus, and here we are, tied. We have Pandora-Gilboa at 50, St. John's at 50. Stick around. The risk and reward round is coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game quarter-final round. Pandora-Gilboa versus St. John's, and we are tied. Moving into our risk and reward round. Before we do, we have a new player, a substitution for Pandora-Gilboa. In slot number 1, we have Jacob, and Jacob is a sophomore. Welcome to you. All right, this is the risk and reward round. Both teams are going to get the opportunity at the same questions. The first 9 are 10 points apiece. No deduction for an incorrect answer. But the 10th question is our risk and reward question. We're going to give you a topic, and you can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments based upon that topic. Get it right, bonus points. Get it wrong, deduction. If you don't like it, just pass. Out of there. Just be going home with your 9 in your back pocket. Entirely up to you. All right, now, since we are tied, we did do a coin toss before this round began. St. John's won that coin toss. That means Pandora-Gilboa is off to isolation. All right, St. John's, are you ready for your risk and reward round? Yep. Here we go. One who takes the initiative to create a product or establish a business for profit is known as an entrepreneur. Spell entrepreneur. That would be Joe.
ENTREPRENEUR.
Correct. Besides Oklahoma City, which U.S. capital is the only other one that shares part of its name with its state? That would be Josh.
New York City.
Indianapolis is what we're looking for there. Bangor is one of its major cities. Name this pine tree state. Is it Maine or Vermont? That would be Josh.
Maine.
Maine is correct. True or false, when deoxygenated blood returns from the lower section of the human body back to the right atrium, the anterior intercostal vein transports it. True or false?
I don't know. Want to go true? True?
I need you to buzz in.
Oh, sorry.
It's false. So inferior vena cava is what we needed there. All right, when an object such as a ball is thrown, what shape will its path trace out under uniform gravity? That would be Josh.
Parabola.
Parabola is correct. With which Andrew Lloyd Webber production would one associate the songs The Music of the Night, The Point of No Return, and All I Ask of You? That would be Josh.
No answer. Sorry.
Okay. Phantom of the Opera. Apologies to the folks at home. What name is given to the former home of President James Madison? That would be Montpelier. How many regional Federal Reserve banks does the U.S. have? Is it 12 or 15? That would be Eddie.
12.
12 is correct. The name is the same, to be thin and fragile, an amount paid for breaking the law, and something of height. That would be Joe.
Frail.
Fine is what we needed there, fine. All right, risk and reward time. The topic is chemical compounds. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on chemical compounds.
20.
20 points it is. Chemical compounds. What is the chemical compound name for laughing gas?
That's nitrous oxide.
That would be Joe.
Nitrous oxide.
Correct. 20 points to you, and that is the end of the risk and reward round for you. Let's clear St. John's score. Now off to isolation you go. All right, let's bring back Pandora-Gilboa. Come on in. Welcome back, Pandora-Gilboa. I hope that isolation was everything you hoped it would be and more. Are you ready for this round? Yes. All right, here we go. Here's your first question. One who takes the initiative to create a product or establish a business for profit, that would be Holiday.
Entrepreneur.
I need more than that.
Entrepreneurial manager?
Yeah. Entrepreneurial manager.
Sorry, time. I was going to have to ask you to spell entrepreneur. Besides Oklahoma City, which U.S. capital is the only other one that shares part of its name with its state?
Kansas City? I know that's not a capital. I should know this.
Indianapolis. Yeah. Bangor is one of its major cities. Name this pine tree state. Is it that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Maine.
Maine is correct. Maine or Vermont was going to be your choices, but you didn't need it. True or false, when deoxygenated blood returns from the lower section of the human body back to the right atrium, The anterior intercostal vein transports it. True or false? That would be Holiday.
True.
It is false, actually. It's the inferior vena cava is what we needed there. When an object such as a ball is thrown, what shape will its path trace out? That would be Chase.
Parabola?
Correct. With which Andrew Lloyd Webber production would one associate the songs The Music of the Night? That would be Holiday.
Phantom of the Opera.
That is correct. You guys lucked out. I sang it in the last round for the other team. What name is given to the former home of President James Madison?
Monticello was Thomas Jefferson.
That would be Montpelier is what we needed there. How many regional Federal Reserve banks does the U.S. have? 12 or 15? That would be Holiday.
12.
12 is correct. The name is the same. To be thin and fragile, an amount paid for breaking the law, and something of high, that would be Holiday.
Fine.
Fine indeed. Risk and reward time. The topic, chemical compounds. Can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on chemical compounds, or you can pass.
Yeah, 15.
What are you thinking?
15 points.
15 points. Chemical compounds. What is the chemical compound name for laughing gas? That would be Holiday.
Nitrous oxide.
Correct, 15 points. That is the end of the risk and reward round for you. Let's clear the score and let's bring back in St. John's. Come on in. Welcome back, St. John's. Let's take a look at where these two teams stand against each other. St. John's Jesuit has 110 points. Pandora-Gilboa has 115 points. A quarterfinal it is. Stay tuned. The category round is coming up next. Questions can be worth up to 30 points apiece and deductions start. Stay tuned. Welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. This has turned into a Category 5 hurricane. That's right. We have Pandora-Gilboa currently in the lead with 115 points, but right on their heels is St. John's with 110 points as we move to the category round. Before we do that, though, let's welcome some new players for St. John's. In slot number 1, we have Wyatt, a senior. And in slot number 2, we have James, a sophomore. Welcome to our new and our returning players. This is the category round where things start to happen a little bit quickly and the power shifts a little bit to you. There are 6 categories to choose from, and there are questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But deductions start now. So if you're going for 20 points, you are risking 20 points. There is one, just one double or nothing question in there. Who knows? It could be a game changer. We'll find out. St. John, since you are at 110 points, you will get to make the first selection. Just a real quick reminder, you may confer before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal a question in this round. St. John's, you're up.
Geometry for 30.
Geometry for 30, coming out swinging. I will read a definition from the field of geometry. You give the term that best meets the definition, red. Quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. That would be St. John's. Josh.
Trapezoid?
Correct. St. John's coming out swinging, takes the lead.
Geometry for 25.
Geometry for 25 points. This is the double or nothing question. Again, it's open to all buzzers. 2-word translation of the word geometry. That would be Jacob.
Earth riding.
We cannot accept earth writing. St. John's, chance to steal. That would be Josh.
Earth study?
Incorrect. Earth measurement. And St. John's in control.
Geometry 20.
Geometry for 20 points. In a right triangle, the longest side. That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
The hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse is correct. Pandora-Gilboa snatches back control.
Geometry 15.
Geometry for 15 points. A 3-dimensional extension of a 2-dimensional circle. That would be St. John's. Josh.
A cylinder?
Nope, incorrect. Pandora-Gilboa, would you like to steal? That would be Chase.
Sphere?
Sphere is what we needed there, a sphere. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
Let's finish the category.
Finish the category, geometry for 10 points. The sum of the lengths of the sides of any polygon. That would be St. John's. James.
The perimeter.
Perimeter is correct. St. John's takes back control.
Historical women for 20.
Historical women for 20 points. I will describe a famous woman from U.S. history, and you will reply with her name. What nurse founded the American That would be St. John's. James.
Clara Barton.
Clara Barton is correct. That was in 1881. St. John's in the lead, in control.
Historical women for 25.
Historical women for 25. What former First Lady saved the original Declaration? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Dolly Madison.
Correct, and Pandora-Gilboa takes control.
Historical U.S. women 15, please.
Historical women for 15 points. What female aviator is the first? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Chase.
Amelia Earhart.
Correct. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
Historical women 30.
Historical women now for 30 points. What female who was banished by the Puritans from the Massachusetts? That would be St. John's. Josh.
Anne Bradstreet.
Incorrect. Massachusetts Bay Colony. That would be Holiday.
And Brad Straw.
Incorrect. Anne Hutchinson is what we needed there. Anne Hutchinson. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
Historical women 10.
Historical women for 10 points. This female civil rights activist, that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Chase.
Rosa Parks.
That's right. Refused to give up her seat on a racially segregated bus in 1955. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
Begins with Co. 10.
Begins with co for 10. C-O. Identify each of the following vocabulary words that begins with the letters C-O. A commissioned officer of the Navy who ranks, that would be St. John's. Josh.
Colonel.
Incorrect. Who ranks just below Rear Admiral. That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
A Commodore.
A Commodore is correct. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
Begins with CO 15.
Begins with CO for 15 points. The usually spiral part of the inner ear containing, that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Cochlea.
Correct. Pandora-Gilboa.
Begins with CO for 20.
Begins with CO for 20 points. Molecular attraction by which that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Covalent.
Incorrect. Particles of a body are united. St. John's chance to steal. That would be Wyatt.
Cohesive.
Will we accept cohesive? We will accept cohesive. And St. John's takes control.
CO 25.
CO 25. The end of the spinal column beyond the sacrum, especially that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Ear coccyx.
Correct. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
Yeah, finish the category.
Begins with CO for 30 points. A watertight enclosure pumped dry to permit construction work below the waterline, as when building bridges or repairing a ship. Time. A cofferdam is what we needed there. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
The potato for 15.
The potato for 15. Here we go. In 1836, potatoes were introduced to what western U.S. state that has become, that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Chase.
Idaho.
Idaho became famous for them. Pandora-Gilboa in control.
Potato for 10.
Potato for 10 points. What dish is made by beating boiled, that would be St. John's. Wyatt.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, yes. St. John's in control. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have St. John's at 145 and currently in the lead, Pandora-Gilboa with 215 points, but it's not over yet. That's right, the brainstorm round is coming up next. Questions worth 20 points apiece, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. Still anybody's game. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. We did have a scoring correction at the end of that last round. St. John's now stands at 175 and Pandora-Gilboa is at 200 points. The plot thickens. That's right. We have one substitute in for St. John's in slot number 1. Let's welcome back Joe, a senior. Welcome back, Joe. And welcome back to all of our returning players. This is it. This is for all the marbles. This is the brainstorm round. All questions in this round are 20 points apiece. Negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but the big change, no stealing. No stealing in this round. We move immediately to the next question. All right, St. John's, Pandora-Gilboa, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? I hope so, because here we go. In which gelatin-like material is most of the work of a cell carried out? That would be Holiday.
Cytoplasm.
Cytoplasm is correct. What unit of work is equivalent to 1 Newton meter? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
A joule.
Joule is correct. According to mythology, Hercules slew this 9-headed monster. That would be St. John's. Josh.
Hydra.
Hydra is correct. This herb produces a hot, fragrant spice. It is used in making cookies and breads and is used to calm nausea. That would be St. John's. Joe.
Ginger.
Ginger is correct. Name the Native American leader who defeated Custer at the Little. That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Geronimo.
Incorrect. Sitting Bull. What is the capital of the Philippines? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Chase.
Manila.
Manila is correct. Name the element in the actinide series whose that would be Joe.
Actinium.
Incorrect. Symbol is NP. Neptunium is what we need. I'm sorry, no stealing in this round. Identify Washington Irving's title character who fell asleep in the cat. That would be St. John. Josh.
Rip Van Winkle.
Rip Van Winkle is correct. In the 2016 presidential election, which political party was represented by Dr. Jill that would be St. John's. Josh.
Libertarian.
Incorrect. The Green Party. Among the Portuguese explorers, who was the first to sail around the Horn that would be Pandora-Gilboa. Jacob.
Magellan.
Incorrect. Vasco da Gama is what we needed there. In the Japanese plant with a thick green root that tastes like St. John's. James.
Wasabi.
Wasabi is correct. What country is home to the statue Christ the Redeemer? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Brazil.
Brazil is correct. In a U.S. Supreme Court appointment, the nomination is made by the president. Which body confirms the nomination? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Jacob.
The Senate.
Senate is correct. In which country would you find the 1,483-foot tall Petronas twin? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Holiday.
Malaysia.
Malaysia is correct. If Tina has baked 37 large cupcakes, how many people can she serve if she plans to quarter them? That would be Pandora-Gilboa. Jacob.
148.
148 is correct. Name the positive electrode of a battery. End of round. That's an anode there. Let's take a look at our score. St. John's with 215 and our winner, Pandora-Gilboa with 300 points. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. The spirit of good sportsmanship, let's come out, meet in the middle. We'll see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.